I built a little area down there we call, well, it's Powder Puff, but first, before we had the ski area there, I built a Whirlybird area. And Whirlybird area, to me, is a rubber inner tube. We vulcanized the seating, and we built a lift. It's like a boxcar on a train, and it hauled like about 25 people. And we had one at the top and one at the bottom run on railroad tracks. They'd come down there, and for $2 an hour, we'd rent them a Whirlybird. They'd go out and ride up and down this thing and slide down the hill. And I think, well, I still get people coming in and asking me about it. But everybody that's been around here a long time has had a ball down there riding these inner tubes. And one time I was running it, we run it out of the building, and it was real fast. And there was a whole bunch of kids got up there and they laid down on them and held each other's legs. And they started off, and I had a microphone, speakers outside. And we run it at night, and this was at night. And God, I saw him coming down, and it just looked like a mad snake. And I started hollering, kick loose, stop, do something. And those kids come down, and on the porch, the old Powder Puff, I had some 1x10s down to block off the hole underneath the porch. Then we put hay, tied hay in there. And they come in, and this girl was in front, and they drove this girl through that hay, through two 1x10s, clear up underneath the porch. And I thought, God Almighty, we've done killed somebody. And well, I run out there, and we start getting them out, and we got to hold this girl and move the boards around and pull it around, and blood was just running all over. And so I got her inside, and her daddy was there, and he was a doctor. He set her down, lifted the edge, and went out, took about 3 or 4 stitches like that, put her hat on, and said, "Go good." Yeah. Well, I went, Winnie, didn't you ride it? Didn't you ride the inner tubes?
The Whirlybirds? Did you ride the Whirlybirds? The inner tubes?
I know Tilly, Hank used to be down there all the time.
Hank must do what he said. He came down on his head after that.
That's why they're having hair with you. Somebody was. Skiing, graduated. Yeah, no, what you're talking about. And this guy named Cliff Taylor come up here. And I had Powder Puff ski area, and I went with it, and the idea was it was a 3-foot ski for adults. And then you skied on that ski for a day, and then the next day you got a 4-foot ski. The next day you come in and got a 5-foot ski. But then you're supposed to graduate on up. But our market, these people come in and they give them a 3-foot ski, and of course some of these guys, their foot's as big as a ski, and so the tail of the ski stuck out past the heel about that far. And they'd come in and say, "Get one of them big skis in 4-footers." And so we'd put them in a 4-foot ski, and then go out there, and they'd come back about 30 minutes and say, "Let me have them little ones." And it was odd because to see 300 or 400 people skiing the mountain up there in these little bitty skis. And gosh, I don't know, it was here how long? Huh?
That trim existed for several years.
Yeah, it lasted for several years.
Highlands continued for several years after that.
Yeah. And
I'm waiting for a comeback. I still have 100 of those.
Mentioned that Fran and Gary and Judy and I bought waterproof from Lester. Gary Starbuck needed to stop a lift worse than me. And one day, this will give you a good scare as far as tort liability. But a girl got off the lift, fell backwards, and was knocked unconscious. She hit her head on the snow. We don't think she hit the chair. But Gary went up there with a snowmobile and a toboggan, and he just had a Stokes litter on it. He just picked her up, threw her in the Stokes litter, took her down to the control room and called me. Well, I went down, and then she had regained consciousness, and I started going through these tests that we're supposed to go through, and she was totally paralyzed. No feeling in her hands, no feeling in her feet, and that's, it's not a question of liability, it's a question of how much. But we called EMTs, and we put a C-collar on her and backboarded her and took her to Taos. But we got her to Taos, and your neck has a natural curvature. Well, apparently when she hit her head on the snow, her neck muscles went into a spasm and just straightened her neck out. And it pinched the spinal cord, and she was indeed paralyzed. But they got to the hospital and figured out what was wrong, gave her a muscle relaxant, and she walked out.
Gary Starbuck, because like I say, back in those days, everybody did everything. He wasn't an instructor, he was an instructor, he was everything. And one evening, or one afternoon, on the Whirlybirds, and we had quite a tough ski area going, and Gary says, "Hey, you got somebody hurt out there." And I looked up, and here's a guy out there, he was laying down, and he was jumping around. So I said, "Get that gun, let's go look at him." And we went out there, and blood was just everywhere, And I looked at Gary, and I said, "What the hell are we going to do with him?" Gary said, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, let's drag him off them bushes. We won't tell anybody we saw him." Back in those days, you didn't have after ski boots, and so everybody wore ski boots. And what happened was, anytime you got hurt down there, you got hit with a ski boot. And this guy, he stopped, and he was laughing so much, and he turned around and he looked, and here come a bunch of them come out and hit him in the nose, broke his nose. and knocked him out. Of course, that's where old Bluff. But okay, and that was the first thing we thought, boy, getting them bushes.
I guess this fella didn't buy a lift ticket. Nobody can catch him either.